Inside Boxing's Throwdown. I'm Aurelio Martinez, Stephen Johnson. This is our second segment of this week, and I'll tell you, we want to talk about Adrien, the problem with himself, Broner, okay? Because Adrian's kind of got his back to the wall now, okay? But he's still him. Adrian's Adrien.
But what's he doing?
But you know, you
said we're going to talk about him. He's got a fight coming up, huh?
He's got a fight coming up, and he's got a good one. He's actually going to be fighting Mikey Garcia. Okay, now you know, Mikey Garcia is probably one of the best boxers right now today, Steve. I mean, he's come out, and I've always liked him when he started, but I always was concerned when he had the controversy with Bob Arum, and Bob Arum shelled him for over 2 years, and you kind of wonder how a guy's going to come back if he's going to pick up where he left off.
Yeah, you were critical of Robert and Mikey, the way they dealt with it, but
yeah, because he to me, he was in his prime. He was out there. A 2.5 year layoff doesn't help anyone. I mean, obviously, you get but he passed the test. Taking that short, he fought for the WBC or WBO title.
WBC,
okay,
lightweight title,
and he won that, and he looked good. Okay, so obviously he's still a young man, and he didn't lose too much. But now they got this matchup where him and Adrien Broner are going to be fighting, and they're going to be fighting at the a super lightweight, the 140 pound. So. This is going to be a good fight. A lot of people don't give Broner a chance, but Broner may be who he is out of the ring, but into the ring, he's still Broner, and he still had, like him or hate him, he's got the talent, and I don't particularly like him because he doesn't know what to say. He says the wrong things, and it kind of, people hear that, the public hears that, but in the ring, I think he's going to be ready for this fight for one simple reason, Steve, is because he has to be.
Yeah,
he has to shine. You know, his going into jail, out of jail, into jail. You know, trying to copy Floyd Mayweather, burning money, throwing it in the toilet, all this, and now even now that he's got this fight coming up, everybody knows Floyd Mayweather's fighting the MMA guy and Conor McGregor. So all of a sudden he come out there and. He's getting ready for one of the biggest fights of his career, something that may end his career.
He says he wants Nate Diaz.
And he wants to fight Nate Diaz. I mean, he wants to do what Big Brother's doing, okay? Just he's got that in his head, and he can't be himself. So, anyway, let's talk about the fight.
Well, first of all, let me say this. I'm so glad now. I got that Stephen A. Smith out of me, man. I'm relaxed. Yeah. See, I was a little bit tense. My shoulders were tight. A little bit. So now we can talk about some real boxing.
Yeah, you were shaking, man.
Mikey Garcia is one of my favorite boxers. He has been. I wasn't as hard on him as you were. Him and his brother, his trainer, Robert.
Robert, yeah.
With that whole scenario with Bob Arum, but you were spot on. And the one thing we know is that Bob Arum has proven that if you have a contract with him, you will live up to the contract, or you won't fight.
You don't F with him, man.
Okay, no, you really don't.
You don't. I mean, no.
And you know, we had one of our Filipino guys, you know, who had to find that out the hard way. But anyway, he's beyond that now. He's past, like you said, he's past with flying colors. That he's back.
Yep.
Taking on Adrien Broner is really a tough nut to crack because remember, Mikey's moving up. He's the WBC lightweight title holder.
Yep.
But this is going to be at the super lightweight. So we'll get to see what happens. Broner, he's got the other issue. Broner's been fighting up at 147, and he's got to come down to 140. And we've seen the fat boy at games with nachos and Pepsis and candy bars and shit. So it's going to be tough for him to make this weight. I'm not confident that he will, but we know the one thing about Broner, if he doesn't, he's not a guy to say, well, they'll tell him, you know, you got 1 hour to lose a pound. You know, I ain't losing no pound. I'll take whatever it takes to come on and fight. I'll be interested to see how Robert and Mikey how they deal.
I'm with you on that one, and it's not really a huge big issue, simply because it's not a title fight.
Right.
So there's not that limit. So if he comes in overweight, which he may, and I'm sure he probably will. then it's up to Garcia to negotiate and take a fine. Broner, I'm sure
some of his purse.
He'll pay the fine, but the fight will go on. I think this fight will go on. I think Mikey is extremely talented as far as overall boxing, and I think he's going to I think he's going to win the fight. For one thing, I'll just come out and say that. I think he's going to win the fight. I think Mikey is one that's going to stay on his game, and I don't think Broner's going to be able to take Mikey out of his game, because Broner has shown that once they start to take him out of his game, he can't adjust.
Not at all.
Madonna showed that.
Yep.
He can't adjust. He starts going back, starts taking the shots. So one thing we know, take him out of his game, and he doesn't know how to adjust. So, and I think that's what Mikey's going to do. Mikey's very elusive. He's got power in his punches. And I just think he's going to outshine
Adrien Broner.
Adrien Broner.
I hate to agree with you. You know that. But in this case, I don't think there's any question. The commitment, the dedication, the overall professionalism of Mikey Garcia should have him clearly dominate Adrien Broner. Broner, I believe, I'm gonna disagree with you on this. I think the days of him being someone that you really had to fear in the ring, because no matter what he did outside and inside the ring, he was no. I think that focus from him is gone. I think now it's a lot of lip service. Last week he made a comment on ESPN, as a matter of fact, where he said he knows that this fight moves him to superstar level if he wins. Okay, I would disagree superstar level, but I would agree that he knows that he has to win this fight. So maybe that might give him the incentive that he needs to be competitive in this fight. But I expect Mikey Garcia he might stop him. He really might.
I question how hard he's really thinking that he has to win this fight. I honestly think that Adrien Broner thinks he's just going to go in the ring and win. I think that's his mentality. I really do, because he's training here in Colorado, up in Colorado Springs. Okay, he's training in Colorado Springs, and I know this because the sparring he's getting is free sparring from the people around here, for amateurs around here, from some of the Mexican pros, Vladimir and the Ramirez brothers. He's getting the free sparring. Whoever goes spars for him free. Jose Arellano, all these local guys that go up there will give him the free sparring. Well, we were contacted to go spar with him, but we don't spar for free. We're not anybody's sparring partner. So that I question it. You would think if you're getting ready for the fight of your life, that's going to be either taking you out of boxing or you continuing in boxing to make the money, you would be a little more serious. That you would be bringing in. You would be bringing in. Top 10,
something to the table.
Top 10 boxers that are going to actually put you to work. I did read somewhere, and I couldn't verify it, that Shakur Stevenson was happening. But isn't Shakur a little guy?
Yeah, Shakur's a little guy.
I mean,
like I said, that if that was sparring, if he calls that sparring, once again, just shows me what Adrien Broner is about right now. And he's, like you said, he probably does feel like this guy's smaller, moving up, and I'll handle him easily. Like I said, I won't be surprised if Mikey Garcia stops him. But I'm not a Broner fan. I was a fan of him as an amateur. As soon as he turned pro and he got sniffing Floyd Mayweather's crotch a couple times, he lost his mind.
Yeah.
And it's not unusual now. These young guys, they really are of the belief that the squeaky wheel gets the grease, and they might be right and they might not, but there's a way to do it, and there's not a way to do it. And in Adrien Broner's case, nothing about him unprofessional. I'm telling you, this guy's unprofessional. I know some certain things about sparring that he's done, just totally unprofessional, and I can't be a fan of his.
I mean, and it can be what it is. I like to look at boxers and how they are as far as their skills and their talent and stuff, and look at that. I mean, that goes to show, because I go back to the Andre Ward. I'm not a big fan of him, but I picked him to win. I knew he was going to win because it's the way he boxes and carries himself. Okay, I'm not particularly a fan of him. Adrien Broner, I think he has enough talent, or he had. We're going to find out if he still has it in this upcoming fight. And I'm just saying that Mikey's going to go in there and stay on his game, and he's going to take Adrien Broner out of his game, and he's going to win. I mean, I think Adrien Broner's going to maybe work competitively for a couple of rounds, and then he's going to realize real quick that he can't change Mikey's style, and he can't take Mikey out of his game, is what I'm saying. And that's going to be the downfall. I think it's going to be. I don't think there'll be a knockout, although there might. I'm not going to disagree with you, but I just think it's going to be a lopsided affair, and I think Mikey's going to win a dominating
performance from him.
Yeah,
It should be that way. And once again, what is that? What do we say? July 29th?
July 29th.
Barclays Center, New York. 12,
Showtime, isn't it?
Showtime. Yeah,
Showtime.
12 scheduled for 12 rounds. I'd be surprised if it goes 12. But anyway,
Now let me ask you something. It's scheduled for 12 rounds,
scheduled for 12.
but we just said it wasn't for any kind of title.
You don't have to have a title for 12 rounds. You can schedule a fight
I'll
for
be
12
darned.
rounds.
I'll be darned. Okay, that's just not common. That's
Yeah.
uncommon.
Yeah. So we'll see what happens. But
But anyway, we're going to come back with our last segment. Stay with us of the week. We had a lot of boxing. We had a lot of controversy going on. Just like that's boxing.
yes,
And we're going to come back and finish the segment. We'll talk a little bit about different pieces. This Conor McGregor, Floyd Mayweather. I mean, it's just picking up steam and it's going crazy. Talk about your boxing guys saying they're not going to watch it. You know, they lying. And anyway, but we'll come back and we'll touch on that. So don't go away. Come back and click on the next segment. Steve, you still there? Put your hands up.